So, this morning, I was supposed to go to my usual boxing class because I've discovered my love for kickboxing and MMA, and I've been going every day, but this morning was tough. My body's a bit sore, and then I got distracted because I wanted to snuggle in bed.
Yeah, you came to cuddle, and then you were like, I saw you look at your phone. Look at your phone. Ah, fuck this.
I'm staying in bed!
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel a little guilty, but ultimately I know rest days are important too, and I love it. It's so much fun. Didn't you like doing it when you were in Colombia?
Doing what?
Kickboxing, some MMA stuff.
I did it once.
And
Once.
in
I
Colombia.
liked it. That time that I did it. Um,
You love
wait,
watching it.
I no, but it's fun to do. But me waking up in the morning to go, it's like I like my sleep. Then when I wake up, I like to do my productive stuff, and then after it's sport time.
So you're more of an afternoon kind of.
I'm an afternoon sport guy, and also I'm an outside sport guy. So those gyms, they have often bad lighting. Like I see from your video, the video looks good, but the light must be like neon white light that flashes a little bit.
There's not. There's no lights on actually.
Feel like LSD.
Because
Like,
there's windows. It's like here. There's no lights.
yeah, yeah. So you've been boxing.
Yes.
We've been here for like a month and a half.
Hmm.
We're coming back
Yes.
one day.
In
We
well,
don't
not one
know.
day.
We don't know.
What do you
So
mean we don't know? We
we
have
don't know when.
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I
are
thought you
we?
meant back to Canada.
Yeah.
Yes, we are coming back.
Okay, so describe me Brazil. Like, what you think about it? What like describe me Brazil.
I love Brazil, and I think there are a few factors that contribute to that because I just want to say that I haven't actually seen much of Brazil. We haven't really seen anything really outside of the airport in Fortaleza, which we didn't even see much of that because it was the middle of the night and we got picked up. We didn't see anything in the car, the 3-hour car ride between there and here. So we're in this little town called Icaraí, and we're so good here that I have no desire to leave, become like lazy. We had friends that came to visit, right? And they spent a month here and they had a whole itinerary of going from the south of Brazil to the north of Brazil and seeing all these things. And then I kind of got this little, maybe we should go see more stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff to go and do and see. And for a while, we were thinking of renting a car so we could be a little bit independent. But that conversation was like 2 weeks ago, and clearly there's been no progress since because we're not in a big rush to leave.
Well, renting a car here is impossible.
Well,
So we need to go somewhere to rent a car,
yeah.
like far. So then it's logical to go back to the airport where we're gonna leave to rent a car there. But that's like 3 hour drive to go rent the car, then 3 hour back.
Well, that's it. It's a lot of work, and I don't really want to invest that much into it because I'm good here. And we have our friends here.
Yeah.
We have Marie and Cicero, and we're just chilling with them, eating good food, relaxing, we're productive. Everything's walking distance. One thing is also safety. Like, if my safety doesn't feel compromised at all, I walk everywhere by myself. The weather's great. Everyone's so nice. The community's nice. It's just good living. So
It's a good location.
Marie and Cicero not be here, like if we didn't have friends here, the experience would definitely be different for sure.
For sure.
I think we would still like it, but we would maybe have moved around a little bit more.
Well, it would have taken some
know.
time to make friends.
Yeah.
Now, since Marie and Cicero were here, it was like we already had
Well, we already have
two
friends.
close friends, and now their friend became our friends, and then so it
Yeah.
was easy to integrate the community.
But we're still also not that motivated to make more friends because there have been little events here and there that we've been invited to, and honestly, I'm just like, I'm just gonna stay home. I don't feel like meeting people.
Well, we have been productive, like recording stuff and
But we have met people. We've met people like, Kishel.
yeah, we met people online.
Yeah.
There you go. Mm. So there was a tradition that I had with Doi that every end of trip we would make a list of a lesson on his phone. What did we learn?
Hmm.
And so let's do it. So there's a thing that I learned. Okay, traveling now with the new style of traveling that we have, which is not really hopping around and like, oh, we have to go see everything. It's just like, no, no, no. I just want to be somewhere that is nice, and I don't want to move away from that nice place to less nice things.
Hmm.
Just don't want to move around that much. Moving is costing money and energy, and then you become kind of unproductive. So when it's traveling just to see stuff, that's fine, but that's like a week out per season or something. But the rest of the time, I want to be somewhere and then make routes and be somewhere nice. So that was previous lessons and previous trip. Now I don't want to have no cars anymore.
Mm. Or
I'm
any kind of mode of transportation, or no kind of mode of transportation. So,
I want to have a way to drive around to go see cities and stuff around. Like we're in the Charlevoix, I have my car so I can go to do 30-minute drive and come back. So then
yeah.
I saw things during the day. I like to move around. I like to explore. I'm an explorator.
It's explorator. Don't come here if you want to learn English. I'm kidding.
So
You're so cute.
um, so no car. I'm kind of like nah. Unless we're inside a city, which we're not doing that much anymore. Big cities like with gas smell and sound. I live like I have like half my life in the city. Now
Yeah.
it's kind of like countryside time. So a car. And the other thing is I didn't have a big enough kite for here. And the wind dropped like 2 weeks ago. So now I can't kite because my kite is too small. So I need a bigger kite. But also maybe we should come earlier
Mm,
here.
yeah.
Because there's wind from, they say, like June, July. And then they say till December, January, but already like since a few weeks the wind kind of dropped,
Hmm.
and it's better here with wind. Not
Yeah.
only for kite, but the weather's
Living, yeah.
yeah, the weather's better.
Yeah, because in the last couple of days it's been cloudy and starting to rain more.
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't mind the rain, but the no wind makes the place like it was better when it was windy. So those are two of my lessons: a car and come here maybe earlier, and the car would maybe be used to record my stuff because I'm driving you crazy. What's your lesson? We can't live in the same
Um,
house.
well, there's some lessons that I've learned, and then there's some things that I not necessarily learned, but I continue to keep on my list of like non-negotiables when I travel. So those non-negotiables are having a kitchen and having a gym or a exercise outlet for myself. Um, so those are two things that I always seem to look for when I travel that I need to be able to function properly. One lesson that I did learn is having two rooms for us is like I mean, I know when we travel, we're pretty like flexible. If we get a room randomly with two beds, we're like, oh yeah, and like we sleep separately, and like we don't care if we sleep in one bed, two beds, whatever. Even back home at the auberge, a lot of the time we'll like sleep in separate rooms, and then we'll come and meet each other. But we usually sleep together more often than not. But here we had two bedrooms, and there was one time one time where I came to sleep with you like throughout the night that I wanted to sleep together. But then the rest of the time is like, nope, like you're in your room, I'm in my room, and then we meet in the morning. Either you come into my room or I go into yours and we like finish our little morning cuddles or whatever together. But yeah, having space is a necessity. But I mean, obviously, when you're traveling, you can't always control for those things. So, which is fine because I mean, it's not like we like I love sleeping with you too, and you know we make it work. Um, but yeah, that was nice.
So having two rooms,
Having two rooms, having some space.
having a kitchen, having a gym.
Yeah. And the other one is now that we've embarked in this YouTube creative journey process, you know, you're on your journey and I'm on my journey, and it's a different journey because I function differently and I require different kind of setup that works for me. Just like you know, you like to do it in the morning. You need to have your coffee. If you don't have your coffee, like God forbid, oh my God, like the whole world stop. You know, you
You
just
could hear me this
like
morning,
you
like
can
with the
text
screwdriver. Tabarnak.
Kitchell and Pamela and be like, "There's no show today," like whatever. But you can, if you have those things in place, like you're good to go, and you don't care if I'm around or if I'm listening or if I'm like in the background cooking and you could see me in the shot. Like you don't care about those things. You turn it on and you just blah 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 blah. Like I don't know how you do it, but for me, I'm more shy, I'm more insecure, I'm less confident. I need like
It's a whole.
quiet. I need nobody around to hear me, because if I know that someone's listening to me, I get in my head and I feel like, oh my God, they're listening to me and they're judging what I'm saying, even though this is all going live or it's all going on YouTube and thousands or whatever people, hundreds are going to be watching. I know it sounds silly, but it just like that's what I need. I need quiet, I need peace. You can't be around. You can't even be like in the house. And I've compromised on that now because now you go in your bedroom and you lock the door and you put your headphones in so you don't hear me at all, which helps. But I'm weird with that. And that's just the way that I function. And maybe with time that will change, like the more comfortable that I get.
Well, that's where the car. I was thinking a lot about the car. Since I want a car when we travel, maybe I could set up a studio. Maybe we could get a van, and then I can set up a little studio in my van instead of just having a car. And that I would like because I never really experienced the van life thingy, except when I was young, my dad had a van, and I would sleep all summer in there, and it was cool.
I don't want you to sleep all the time in the van, though.
But now I would sleep inside the house because sleeping in a van, it's like not that good for your, like, you wake up earlier and you
Yeah.
don't get that much of a sleep. So it would be a backup sleep thingy, but it could be an office. And also, when I go out, like for sport, let's say back home, go to ski or go to hike, and then when I come back and I'm in my car, oh my God, now I have to change in my car, and it's like I'm trying to put on my jeans. It's like
And it's not like you're a
the
small guy, you
wipers are
know?
starting, like everything is blinking because I'm just like,
And it's not like you're a small guy
yeah,
either.
that's it. Plus, there's all the stuff that you need. So when I arrive, there's just a pile of stuff next to me, and I have to just like. So the van would be maybe could solve a few problems. The car, the studio, the you being alone. Ah, there's another thing that I learned. And we have a few questions. After that, we can go.
Oh.
But I did learn that, especially in location like here, having a dog is an improvement
Ah.
on my life because we have been welcoming a new member of the family called.
Wait, we need to add some some context to this. So, Gab has never had an animal before,
I've
and
had cats.
nah, cats don't count. Okay, sorry, cat people.
But they all ended up at my mom's, like a normal, like teenage to young adult male will do if he ever gets a cat. It's just at some point like, oh,
Here,
mom.
mom. So, well, even at that, I can't picture you like playing with your cat and being all like, "Oh, you're so cute, I love you." Like, I don't know if you were like that with your cat, but
No, it was just like,
yeah. So,
without the high pitched voice.
well, ever since I've known Gab, ever since I've known you, and I think your friends and stuff can also
Yeah, it's been like
agree with
20
this,
years.
is that you're not really an animal person. It's
No.
not like you are total like unempathetic asshole and you're like all animals should die and fuck them. You're just like you don't feel like an emotional connection with animals. You're just like you see a dog and you're like, "Oh, hey dog, like how's it going?" and you just like continue on your day and whatever. And so here that's changed. I don't know why I'm looking like at you guys. That's changed.
You want me to put the computer there?
And Gab has found a newfound love for animals, and I think it's the cutest thing ever. And he's there right now. But there's this dog that always comes to the house, and, well, sorry, let me go back. The animals in the community here are like people. They're like animal humans. It's just they all have a name. They all belong to the house or many houses or families, and you go down walking on.
They
by
have
the
their
beach.
land, kind of.
Their territory.
Yeah, they can't cross that street. They can't go
Yeah,
there.
it's their
but
neighborhood.
Yeah, like.
And when you walk, you know, you say, "Oh, hey, there's Coco. Hey, Coco, how's it going?" And then the dog like walks with you a little bit, and then, "Hey, how's it going?" And then goes away. And
Yeah,
then,
the
like,
abuela is like, you want him? You want
Yeah.
him?
they're just
Take
everywhere. And there's puppies everywhere, and they're so cute. And Gab, when you go walking, I love when you send me videos of the puppies and stuff, and it's so cute. And anyways, there's a dog here. His name's Petrouk, and he started coming a few times when we first got here. And the owner of the place that we're staying at, he kind of adopted him because Petrouk started coming, and then he wasn't being treated well at his other place. So
No, he had like a bra
yeah.
strapped around his neck
Ugh.
that was tight or something.
Oh.
And then when the workers were working on Cicero's home, one of the workers cut him loose because he was always there, because he was at Tony's house.
Oh yeah.
But he was born at Zenilda's house.
Yes.
So it's all
He's moved
neighborhood.
around.
Like, yeah, he moved around. But he just like chooses.
Whoever feeds him.
Yeah, he didn't like. He doesn't belong to anyone. He's more of a he's a free soul. He's a nomad.
He's a nomad. I think that's why we like him so much.
Well, at first I liked it because he was coming. Like we were kind of like, oh, like, okay, and he was kind of dirty a bit, but it was
Yeah.
like,
Half of his cheek was ripped off.
yeah, he had like
He
went
had
in
like
a
a little
fight.
limp.
Yeah,
We're like, whoa.
yeesh. But he looked like okay, and then we were feeding him. No, we didn't feed him at first, like nothing. It was just like, okay, you're there, we're here.
Yeah.
That's it. But then it's like I experienced it first in Mexico, where I wished we would have a dog because there's a safety issue in Mexico and in Brazil that you don't have in Quebec, first of all. And the dog would like actually makes you safer. I was like, that's quite cool. Plus, you feel safer even though it doesn't make you really safer. So you're like, okay, that's good. And also, it's warm outside. So you don't have to open the door so they could go pee and close the door. And oh my God, I have to come back, open the door. I know I did feed them. Like here, they're just always outside. You don't have to pick up any of their like poop or something. And then if you don't feed him, he'll find food. Like the neighbor will feed him. He'll just like, so it's easier in Mexico and here. And in Mexico, I wished Kim could like take out their dog so we could walk around Puerto Morelos with
Yeah.
those two killer dogs. And then she couldn't, so I was like, damn, like, and I saw like for the first time the need to have like an animal. But then here it's not that useful, but there's a small use. I like it. It's like he's guarding the house at night. I'm in my room. He's like, woof, woof, woof. Oh, okay. Woof woof. That's it. I like it. Oh, forget to record the conversation. um, and there's a use, but there's also like something nice. You come back from your walk, he's there. So did you have a nice walk?
Yeah, he
Can
greets
you
us at the
can you
door.
give me 10 seconds of love so I can go back to sleep now? Like, okay.
It's so sweet. It's
So
nice to have an animal care about you and vice versa, you know?
it is nice, but also like at that point, I'm kind of like it. This is nice, but I would never pick him and then bring him back home. Like
That would be cruel.
extract him from paradise, bring him inside like a house or an auberge. But
In the middle of winter. Like,
another auberge, that would be kind of a cool life for a dog.
yeah,
But
I know. I was thinking maybe a dog at the auberge, like a mascot.
maybe, but even then, it's like he lives inside all his life, goes outside, like I don't know. But we maybe we'll send some money for him to get some nice, because he doesn't like the little croquette that they have at the supermarket.
Nah, he likes the real stuff.
Real meat. So we've been buying some real meat for Petrouk.
Yeah.
So another lesson, I can see that in locations like here, having a dog, it's an improvement of your life. I don't believe that in places like Quebec, well, it would still be an improvement, but then the price to pay, I think it's too high for
Well,
me.
in terms of improving or increasing happiness, there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
But in terms of like the protecting your home, like the way that the animals do here is a little bit different, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have questions.
Ooh.
Yay! All right. And, okay, so what's your favorite sport or activity to do? And how that works? When we're traveling, I guess, like,
Yeah.
what's your favorite sports or activity?
For me, I
I want
like.
the,
You want
is
what?
the cocoa that?
I like to run. So running is easy and it's cheap and free. So yeah, and I find running is a really great way to experience or to learn the neighborhood around me. So I like to discover my neighborhood that way. And I really like exercising by myself. I like a few group things, it depends with what, but solo running for me is very therapeutic. So I get in this zone, especially if I'm somewhere else in the world and I just feel like I'm totally like out of my element and I'm somewhere new and I'm surrounded by like, beauty and novelty and I get in my head and I just start like thinking about life and myself, and it's a really good reflection moment. So running is great. That's why I'm really happy here because I feel safe running. For example, when we were in Colombia, I obviously didn't run. Did I run? I don't think I did because in the
It was
city.
like steep like this.
Oh, in the mountains, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
no, I
so
didn't
steep.
go, and I also didn't feel like I needed to because I was doing the martial arts and stuff like that. But in the city, because I do enjoy city running too, there was no fucking way that I was gonna go running in the city because even just walking, more so in Bogota, I was really paranoid about like someone mugging me or something. Like my friends that lived there instilled so much fear in me that I was paranoid when I got there. But I did feel like eyes were on me and stuff. So when I run, I often like I'm not paying that much attention to what's around me. I am, but not to the point where like anyone can come and just grab me. So anyways, a bit more cautious there. I didn't really run or anything. So yeah,
So running.
running, and I also really like high intensity sports. So stuff like hits, training, and circuits and stuff like that. That really, I always describe it as the sports that make me feel like sports that make me feel like I'm dying, like I'm dead, but then I feel reborn again. Because there's always a point, like with the boxing and like hit classes and stuff, where I'm just dead. Like I feel like he's just killed me. He's just beaten me down, and I'm just like, I can't anymore. And then after it's over, I feel so good, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I feel so strong, and I feel reborn again. And so that's what really gets me going. And again, it has to do with my head. Like when I'm in that kind of when I'm engaged in that kind of activity, it's like everything, all stuff, bad stuff, whatever I was thinking about my day, stressful things, just like goes out the window, and I'm so focused on whatever it is that I'm doing because it's intense and it's hard, and it's almost like a drug. Um, it gives me like that boost of endorphins, and I just get high from it, and it really helps me focus and clear my head. And so those are the kind of sports that I enjoy the most. And I would really love to do more things like rhythmic sports, like dancing, or exercising to like beat of the music. Like I used to bounce, which was great. Bounce, that was always rhythmic to music and like getting into a song and going that way. I think that's really motivating for me because I do love music and I love to dance. But it's not something that I've pursued yet. When we came here, I was like, oh, I want to learn how to samba and like get into that, but I didn't really do that. And yeah, like the MMA stuff has been really, really fun to learn in Colombia when I did that for the first time. Seriously, anyways, we did all different kinds of things like self-defense and Tai Chi and martial arts stuff, karate, jujitsu, whatever. And it was really powerful, and you just feel so empowered and strong and focused. And what draws me to it also is like the discipline. When I see athletes doing these kind of sports, I feel like it's a lot more mental than it is. Obviously it's very physical, but there's a lot of focus and discipline there, and that just like fascinates me. And so a lot of the mind work is pretty great. And I also like yoga and stuff like that too, but yoga I'll never do on my own. I'll have to like go to a class and do it. But yeah, I don't like adrenaline sports, so sports that would actually kill me. So I know I like to do things where I feel like I'm dying, but then I feel reborn. But I don't like to do sports where I can actually die, which are sports like you do, like extreme sports like skiing and kite surfing and bungee jumping and fucking surfing, like where I can literally crack my head any second. Like that's not for me. I don't even want to try it. I have no motive. No.
Well, those are the sports that I like. But not all of that. Like I'm mostly a walker actually. Like I like a big
Yeah, like
long
hiking
walk.
and stuff, yeah.
Hiking or here it's here the beach walk is very nice because that's the place where you get the most wind and the most air, and it's kind of like it takes 5 minutes and you're outside the city, and now there's these big dunes and windmills and the sunset, and so I think was nice. Back home the beach walk are also cool, and it's hard to walk on the beach. It's kind of like always
really
a little
hard.
like you never really have a step where you don't slide a bit. So I like walking when I'm in Montreal, Parc du Mont Royal, all the way. That's like every day. It's so cool. Back home, there's like 10,000 walks. There's either the Parc des Grands Jardins, le Parc des Hautes-Gorges, even just in Saint-Joseph-de-la-Rive on the beach. From the auberge, you can walk down to the fleuve and walk back up, and it's quite a walk. And
I haven't done it.
You never done it?
I've never done it before. I tried to go one time and I got lost, and I was like,
You have
I've
to
been
go
there
down
3
and to the
years
left.
now. I feel like Pamela's probably been more than
It's down and to the left, guys, if you want to reach the
No,
water.
there's a point where it's like you always say that you go left, you go left, you go left, but then at some point it's like you don't really go left. You have to like go this way.
No, it's down and to the left. And if down is not available, then it's left. But but you can't go up. So it can't be up. So it's left or down, or if both are available, it's down and to the left. Yeah. But at some point you reach it, but it's not that easy. It took me a while to figure it out. And actually, I should ask the permission to the guy to just put little flag, because
Yeah.
it's not our land, so I don't want to install anything. But if we just install like little
That's a
blue
really
flag,
good idea.
yeah,
Actually, yeah.
I have his email, so we could ask. And this winter, I want to ski all the way down. Last winter, Seb and his friend did it, and when there's like a lot of snow, because
Yeah.
I don't want to. There's trees and stuff,
Ugh.
but at some point you get enough snow so you can ski all the way down, and then put your pot fuck, like a
Ton pot de fuck?
pot fuck, yeah.
I have
That's
no
like
idea what that is.
the Velcro type of thing that I put below my ski when you do backcountry
Okay.
skiing. So then the ski don't slide anymore, and then you unclip your fixation, and then you can walk back up. Like they're at that point they're used more like a snowshoe.
Okay.
Did you ever see my ski or?
Yeah, but I don't know what a pot fuck is or the
Put
Velcro
fuck
on
skin
the
of a
ski.
fuck a seal skin.
Ah,
Put your
pot
ski-
de fuck.
Yeah, put
Okay,
fuck.
yeah, okay.
Skin, seal skin.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it in English? Like,
It's the skin of the seal.
yeah, I know, but like, what do they call the thing that you put underneath your ski? Your skin, maybe.
I have no idea. I don't know.
No, okay, it's
I
backcountry
don't know
skiing.
ski terminology.
Well, in French, it's pot fuck, and or in Quebec at least. So I want to do that, but otherwise, it's ski. I like sport that will use gravity, or wind, or anything to move you around.
No.
And then you're like, oh my God, I will maybe die. Ah, I didn't die. Ah, that was such a successful day.
I like to have my feet firmly planted on the ground and in control.
Well, that's the thing. People with higher levels of anxiety, they don't need more adrenaline or more. Uh,
Yeah.
Like I'm afraid enough. And people with lower
You're looking for
levels,
stimulation.
yeah, I'm like so walking, but I want to add a few sports. I'm sure I have a page here.
We do have a page of extreme sports or something.
Not
crazy.
extreme, but like activité here, like that I put because I want to dive more. I when we were in Mexico, I didn't dove. That how you
I
say?
didn't dive.
I didn't dive, and or one time we went to the reef, but I wanna dive in the Senate, and it's like it's diving paradise there. So that's something I want to do more. I want to learn to surf, and if we go to Nicaragua, I'll try to surf. But I think that well, now that I kind of started to learn kite surfing, but I suck so much. But at some point, I'll be able to go because having both my feet planted and go on the side, not natural to me. I usually have both my feet can go like there, and I go in front with my ski. This winter I want to try snow kiting.
Oh yeah.
Kite
That would be
snow,
cool.
like it's. There's a guy that we met who was from l'Île aux Coudres, and he told me of a spot in Saint-Urbain where
cool.
when the wind blows west, there's like in fields when there's like, and you just take your normal kite
Damn.
and you put on your ski and then
That's crazy.
that's pretty cool, eh? So that I want to do. So I want to learn to surf. I want to snow kite.
I'm gonna try and winter run. I've done winter running, but I think more in March, never in like January. So I don't know how that's gonna go.
Well, Nick was telling me that he loves it. He has like his special shoes, and he just wears like a little thing, like almost nothing,
Yeah.
and you're warm enough, and then you run, and it feels like Rocky IV in Russia training. I want to bike more, but so far that's been kind of a problem. Because biking in Montreal or like where I grew up in Marieville, it's all the same. It's flat. So biking is easy. Then when I brought my bike at the auberge, and I went for a bike. I was like, bike run. I was like, okay,
Impossible.
like
It's like
forget it. It's like ah. So there, I would need either electric bike to go bike on the street, but even then, biking with all those cars, I
it's
like to have a bike
scary.
lane to myself. So I was thinking maybe we do trips and then I bike there, or I start to mountain bike and then I go to the forest and I bike there. So then it's like I don't mind if I'm climbing up, but realistically, an electrical bike would be something. What else do you want to try?
I'm not really into like trying something new right now. I'm kind of focused on just getting better at what I'm doing. So I want to try just like all the cool shit that I can do with my body in this MMA world. Like I want to be able to spar better, you know. We started doing that and it's crazy the amount of effort that goes into it. I didn't think I would die that much, you know, and I didn't even do anything. I was just like this the whole time because I was too scared to throw a punch and I was trying to like evade the other punches coming at me. So I'd like to be able to learn how to do that more spontaneously and be able to like predict what their move's going to be, and but it's really hard. It's scary.
Do it one big time, like
I know.
you try to. Um, so, but you'll lose your gym now. We're going back home. You'll lose your gym.
Yeah, I know. I think it's going to be
Will you start to have excuses? I'll just like
maybe, I don't
screw
know.
training.
I have the
Yeah.
trampoline, which is nice. So
I'll go
we'll
ski.
see.
That will be fun. We have another question. Um, as a traveler, how do you choose or decide where to travel next?
Oi, that's a good question for you to start answering.
I
Gab has many processes.
Yeah, they're all written here. Um, so I've traveled a lot, maybe 50 countries, something
I've
like that.
traveled a lot too.
Yeah,
About 26, 27 countries.
there you
But you've
go.
got 6 years on me.
There you go. Maybe you'll, but it will be hard to reach me because whenever we go somewhere now, it adds one for me and one
That's
for
true.
you. But then we'll go to places that I've been that you've never been, so
Yeah.
you'll climb faster. Um, and well, at first you want to see everything, or you learn all these lessons that, for example, moving around it costs a lot, so I don't want to go to shitty places just because like they say that you should go there in the whatever book. So the book was one of my first lessons. I was like, burn the book. I don't care about your book. I don't want to go to any of those locations because you travel and then it costs like a bus ride. You just arrive, you're so tired, you have to check out of an hotel. So moving too much, not good. Then it was kind of like, let's go to a location where it's good and then we can explore there. So mainly cities that I've traveled. And there it's always kind of good if it's not too much like polluted or if the vibe in the city, but cities usually have something interesting to offer. You can like see the culture, you have everything, you have comfort, you have like good food. It's like, and but now I'm kind of like tired of city traveling a bit because you arrive in the city and it's like sound and pollution and no adventure sport. It's basically like, so no ski, no kite, no, and you walk, but it's very rarely that you get a park like you have in Montreal. Most of the time, it's you walk on a street beside houses and buildings and houses and buildings. So it's kind of fun. You see stuff around, but you're like, yeah, at some point, like,
Give me some trees.
yeah, like some forest and nature. Um, and so now I am kind of like outside, like I don't want to go in cities anymore because I the parameter sport, I put it higher on my list. And so I have a list of parameters, and and all those parameters have a weight. They're not equally, they're not equal. So the price is a parameter, the culture is a parameter. Have I ever been? Sport is a parameter, and then based on all these parameters, I like, do I want to go the visa, business opportunities? Is it like some place that I can, I don't know, like do business or like create some kind of passive income maybe? Is it somewhere that I want to learn the language? So language is a big thing for me. I have 4 languages that I want to speak well: French, English, Spanish, and Portuguese. So now we practice Portuguese a lot in the last 2 months. I want to practice more. So language is a parameter. What else? I have pictures on my phone that like the big board of parameters that we did and where are we going. And then like you list a list of place, just brainstorm. Like we could go there, 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 there. And then I go through my parameters. Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. Or out of 10. That's a 10. And then sometimes the parameter is worth 30. And then sometimes just like nice to have, like sunset. It's kind of it's nice to have. Learn the language. It's like it's a 10. And then can we do business there? Can we actually like earn money or something? Then that's a 30. And then based on those, we kind of decide. And then is it cool? Do we like what the flights?
Yeah, flight times and stuff like that. I usually like to just pick places that are kind of off the beaten path a little bit. So if there's a location that everybody goes to, like, I don't know, Thailand. Like, that's why Thailand was never really on my list, because, like, everyone goes to Thailand now. Like, it's oversaturated with so many tourists, and it's like, I feel like I'm going to go there, and it's just going to be tourists, like, full of Kiwis and Aussies everywhere getting wasted, and, like, that's just how I saw it, and I'm like, I'm going to go to the place next door where there are no people.
Yeah, but so I went to those places and I disagree with your parameter. You know where there's no tourists? Azerbaijan. You
Where's
know,
Azerbaijan?
that's it. You know why there's probably no tourists? Because it's horrible. Like I went to Myanmar and now it's closed again. I think so. I went in the like few years that it was open, and then you arrive there and it's not made for tourists. It's off the beaten path. But there's no dépanneur. Like you can't buy soap. So you're like, okay, it's not that easy traveling here. So now I know that if there's a lot of tourists, it's because it's nice. And if there's no tourists, it's because it's probably less nice. So I disagree with your parameter. But there there can be some hidden gems. Like here, there's not that many tourists. It's starting. Like the prices of the land, I think, went like times 10 in the last year, and before that, it went times 10 the year before. So it's like times 100. So what it was 10 years ago, it's just crazy. And but it's still like there's not that many tourists. Like, but the
No,
whole
this is perfect.
coast, there's a lot of tourists. Like they're all spreaded on all these small villages, and because of kite, it's like not only that, but that's the main activity there that brings people like kite and how do you say planche à voile,
And
wind
surfing?
windsurfing, and the other thing like the wing. I it's just
Yeah.
like they hold a wing,
Wind sailing? I don't know.
wing foil.
Wind foil. Okay.
Wing foil, and that looks cool. Like you hold the wing and then you flip it around, and you don't have like the big thing. It looks cool. So the wind here brings a lot of tourists, and then after that it brings the rest. Like but then there's a bar, there's musicians, there's like
Yeah.
everything. So now we choose it like that. But let me ask you this: where are we going this year? What's your plan for this year? Dude, is the sound still on? I'll just
Testing one, two,
no, no,
three.
I'll
Yes,
just
it is.
flip it. Yeah,
It is.
are there? Okay, cool.
My plan. Well, I actually wrote that down this morning.
Oh,
because
You
one
didn't want to
of
share it with me? Are you
well, there's
ready
a
to
few
share
things
it
that
with
I
the
was
world?
sharing, but I really like to do retreats when I travel. So that is one.
They're called lesbian retreats.
I don't know. They're not
Petrouk
lesbian
thinks it's
retreats.
funny.
He just calls them that because mostly women go on these, and he thinks we're all have these sexy pillow fights or something at the end of the day and like dance naked around a fire.
I've
But
seen those
that's
retreats, and that's exactly how it plays out.
no. So that's not true. They're wellness retreats, and I love going on them. And so in the last couple of years, I've based a lot of my travel destinations based on where I can find a cool, decently priced retreat in a location where the flight cost is not too expensive. So, because when I book a retreat, the flight cost is never associated with that. So I always want to make sure that there's a good balance between like the location in terms of distance, flights, price of the flight, and the cost of the retreat. So I'll pretty much go anywhere if the price of the package is good and the flight is decently priced. I'll go anywhere. And I love that so much. So I want to continue going on them and exploring them because it's such a great way to visit locals, to get to know the local experience of the place that you're going. It's such an incredible way to meet other people, other travelers, other like-minded travelers, to experience amazing local food, culture. You know, you you just learn so much about yourself and and the place that you're visiting and the people that are there. And it's just, for me personally, I think it's just an incredible way to travel and opens a lot of doors. So I want to incorporate that in my traveling in the next little while, like I've been doing. And I wrote that I think in the next year I want to try to go, no, not try. I will go to at least 4 retreats
Okay.
somewhere in the world. And that will obviously be based on where we're thinking of traveling to. So there's a place that we'll probably going for sure, which is Nicaragua in February, March, because we have ties there. We have friends that are going, so that's kind of been planted there. So I'm looking into retreats there. And then after Nicaragua, it's kind of a little question mark. And we've been tossing around a few ideas in terms of places that would make sense for us to go and that we've been wanting to visit. One of those places that we're considering is possibly the Philippines. So, I don't know,
Yeah, there's a delay.
yeah. And I was actually supposed to go to the Philippines in March 2020. I had a trip booked and planned to go to China, to Shanghai, and the Philippines. I have a friend of mine that I met in Hawaii who's Filipino, but she lives in Shanghai. So I was going to go visit her and her family. And she just talked up Philippines like, you gotta go, you gotta go. And I was like, I'm fucking going. So had that all booked, and then boom, the pandemic happened, and obviously that trip got canceled. I mean, yeah. And so Gab's never been, I've never been, and March, April, May, it's supposed to be a really great time to go. And there's also kite surfing. There's, we have a few ties there in terms of friends and people that we've been working with. And also, it's a hop away from Thailand.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of Gab's favorite places.
Well, it's
And I've never been.
one of my homes. I
It's
have
one
a
of his
few
homes.
homes. And now here it's a new home too.
Yes.
Yes. So we'll be back here.
Yes. So a part of the plan for next year is maybe late August, because we said we would come earlier here because of the wind. So maybe September, end of August, we'll be coming back here. 100% guaranteed, because why fix something that's not broken? I love it here. We love it. We eat well, we live well, we have
Yeah.
friends. It's just great. So absolutely want to come back here. And the visa is 3 months at a time. So, I mean, you could extend for 6 months, but I don't want to use my whole 6 months at one time. I want to try and spread it out if I can.
Yeah, now it's like we're going back home in 3 weeks, and
Oof, yes.
baby, it's
Well,
nice home.
it's,
There's snow and ski and fun. But then, yeah, probably Nika. Then Big Hole, maybe Thailand. There's Doi that just arrived in Asia, the big return. So maybe a boys trip at some point where you do your lesbian vegan thingy.
yeah. You have friends that travel all the time
Yeah,
to
it's
different
fun.
places. So
And
it's
we
similar.
share our location on Google Maps, so I zoom out, I see them. It's like so it's we have a code like you're always invited. Like
Yeah.
click on my location and join me. Like there's always a house for rent next to it. Maybe a van trip.
I'd love to do a little van trip.
But I'm also motivated in. I'm not in the. Oh, I want to see locations. It's like like I want to travel and see stuff. It's part of what I want to do, but I want to make it a sustainable way of life. In which case, we need to have like our shit together and producing content and keeping a link with back home is like for me kind of a must have. I must be able to continue managing my business. I must be able to continue building a knowledge base. So if we go somewhere and I can't record and I can't like there's bad
Yeah.
internet, I can't upload, I can't do anything, it's like I don't want to stay here for more than a week and that's just vacation, then I'll just like okay, see you in a week, but I want to be places where I can actually kind of like be productive. I
And feel good in your body.
and yeah, that's it. So be productive with that project and sports and feel good in my body. Like try to extend my life as much as possible because this is fun. um, and Philippines has been on my bucket list for a while. So since we are all like curious, um, that may be a place, but it's far. So I'm like, the distance is not a plus for the Philippines, like in the flight. But at some point, you just go and you're just like. And I've been changing my opinion about flights and airports a bit.
I love spending time in airports.
It's kind of cool. I just load my phone and my computer with stuff that I want to read, that I want to watch, that I want to binge watch.
Yeah.
I just have like all these like headphones that are like I want to block the sound. I just want to block the sound a bit, or I want to listen to music. So I'm good with like controlling the amount of information that comes in, and that's it. So flights and airports and the last like trips that we did.
Yeah.
It's
Fun
been kind of good.
experiences.
Huh?
Fun experiences.
Yeah. Plus, sometimes we book the lounge thingy,
Yeah.
and you arrive there, and it's like Caligula style buffet. You know, like you can eat whatever you want. I just want a bit. Like you can eat more. You can drink whatever you want. Like, do you have good wine? No, we don't. It's like okay, I'll have water with gas. Yeah, yeah. And also, like, this is, I want to test stuff out. This is part of a test. I like this.
You like this?
Oui. Puis on pourrait en faire un en français. On pourrait
Ah ouais?
switcher en français.
Oui.
Y en quizás en español. Podemos
Sí.
hablar en español. Sería una buena manera de practicar.
Sí.
Y tal vez en portugués.
Talvez em português.
Pero mais difícil. Necesitamos una otra persona que para ayudar.
Talvez Marie Cicero.
Sí, tal vez. No, sincero, no puedo. Mais peut-être continuer. So maybe continue to podcast, but in different language, and
Yeah,
maybe
it's a good
with
way to
you.
test.
Because for the last week, I've been recording stuff like professional Airbnb
Oh my God, they're
business.
so tired of listening to you.
Yes, they can't take it
I'm
anymore.
tired of listening to you in the house.
Yeah, so and Petrouk is dying. So now it's like a
I
light
feel
thing.
bad for them. No, I'm just kidding.
My microphone. But also like having a lighter type of thing, and this could be fun.
Yeah,
So do you want to come back on my podcast?
I would love to be invited back. It would be such
But
an
it's
honor.
our podcast.
Oh.
Oh. Maybe it will have its own YouTube channel.
Oh,
Oh.
you're gonna get another one?
I'm buying 4 right now.
Can you say that?
I think it's legal to buy YouTube channels. Anyway, like, I'm open about it. I will also make a video
Yeah.
where I will explain the process that where I bought the YouTube channel. Because that's also part of my process. Like I want to teach stuff because, like, if I don't record myself teaching stuff,
Yeah.
I am teaching stuff anyway. But just repeating myself every
That's true.
month.
I ask you questions every day.
Yeah, exactly. And I teach you, and I'm like, God damn. But
Are you gonna tell me to go watch your YouTube channel?
no, I will record myself when I answer you. So you'll get the OG explanation, and I will tell everybody else, like I taught it to Ali, go see that video. But I also want to build like a little studio and like get some toys. Like I want to play more music, learn languages. Like I want to, like I see health as part body and part brain.
Absolutely.
And then the part brain, I have to like poke my brain with stuff. So reading audiobook, learning languages, learning instruments, or practicing instruments, which is what I'm gonna do this afternoon. And then I'll do
it's true. You're taking a lesson.
Yeah.
Yay!
You want the house? Petrouk will like I think we feed him too much.
Yeah, I think so. He's got food coma.
But it's okay. We'll go soon, and he'll be like less fed for the entire year. That's for sure. So, how long have we been recording so far? How long have
Probably
we been
about an
recording?
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that seems like a good amount of time.
Definitely about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you say we stop there? And what do you say we do that again?
Okay.
Yay!
I will help you.
Yay! Well, it was a pleasure, and that's the number 2. Like the first one, we did a sex talk. Now we did a
Life
whatever
talk.
talk. There's some stuff that we could try. Like I have funny videos and stuff that I could show you, and we react to stuff and just like what? Just
Let's test it.
yeah, let's test shit. Like I'll make a little setup with computers and
Okay.
microphones and stuff. Like I also want to get toys and play with my toys.
Okay. What kind of toys?
Microphones, computers,
Thought you were
musical
talking about the
instruments.
other kind of toys.
Like purple paint. Hey, we can get toys.
Yeah, it
And
would be
talk
fun
about
to review
toys.
them together.
Yeah, actually, that's funny. Like, and supposedly, when we like it and we tell it, then it's like go the link in the description, and you make money with that stuff. Oh my God! So anyway, it was a pleasure to talk to you. There's nobody there. It was a pleasure to talk to you, girl. And let's stop here.
Okay.
What do you say? And we do that again?
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
next time, how do we do the French and Spanish? We do part English, part French, part Spanish? We do one completely in French?
I think so.
And then one completely in Spanish?
Sure. That'll be fun.
So we
Let's
talk
do the
about...
next one in Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what? We talk about the same like stuff. How do we manage the different content? Let's say we talk about travel, and then like we tell the same story in Spanish, basically. Or we talk about something else completely.
Let's sit on it.
Yeah, let's sit
Yeah.
on it. Okay, perfect.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pamela. That's going to be painful for your ears.
That's okay. Like She can tell us like, okay, guys, you made
You
some
suck.
mistakes.
There's those 300 words that you need to practice.
But we'll get good.
But yeah,
Yeah. Ok. Bon,
I'm
ben
excited
merci.
for that. Yeah.
Merci, 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 merci tout le monde.
Adios.